Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Alobo Naga show. We are so excited today to talk about coffee, coffee grown from Nagaland, and this beverage is like loved around the world. And we're so proud that today, we're not drinking coffee from outside the state or around the world, but we're growing our own coffee, producing from Nagaland. And to talk about coffee, grown in Nagaland, we have amazing lineup of guests. First we have Vivito Yapto, the co-founder of Nagaland Coffee. Nagaland Coffee is one of the most common coffee brand in Nagaland. They have like two coffee shops, one in Dimapur, one in Kohima. They also have roasted beans, which they not only sell in Nagaland, but they sell it across India. Like Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi, you name it. They send it across, and it's not only in India, but the coffee is known across the world. Many places people have tried that, and then people love it. Personally, wherever I travel, I take coffee beans from Nagaland. I used to go and take review from outside, and then we've been getting good reviews so far. So we're going to talk about that. So the first guest, without further ado, I would like to welcome Vivito Yapto. Hi, bro.
Hello, Alobo. Thank you so much for inviting me to your show. It's an honor to be here.
I am so honored, bro. And before we start, I want to say thank you to Nagaland Coffee for being our beverage partner and always supplying us with like enough coffee for us and the guests. Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Most welcome. Most welcome.
And now let's go straight.
Yes.
I want you to take this moment and introduce yourself to my viewers. About your background, about your life, maybe about college, family, anything that you want to talk about. Please take the moment.
Yes, my name is Vivito Yapto. I'm the co-founder and managing director of Nagaland Coffee.
Okay.
I am married with a beautiful wife and amazing two sons.
Okay.
My eldest son is 4 years old and my younger one is just 8 months. I was born and brought up in Kohima. Did my schooling from here in Dainty Butts, and my higher education from Science College, Rosoma. After that, I did my business administration from Mysore University, Bangalore.
Okay.
And I got the opportunity to study my professional degree from Cardiff University.
Okay, UK, right?
UK, yes, where I studied international marketing.
Wow.
So that's a brief introduction.
Interesting. Now, you are also a certified barista, right?
Yes.
From Himalayan Java, recognized members of SCA's Specialty Coffee Association. And he's also a member of the SCA since 2019 and a certificate in Hospitality Management System, and also a certified roaster from Probet Kapi, a licensed branch of the roaster company from Germany, and a fellow graduate of Northeast Entrepreneur Fellowship. Wow. And you have a professional degree international marketing. That's like very, very impressive. Now let's talk about coffee. So give us some genesis about Nagaland Coffee. Kiniga start kurishe, how did it all begin? And then you were studying different, right? Dan. And then you came back home. How did it all begin, like Nagaland Coffee la?
So it started way back in 2016. So by then I was working in Pune in Amazon as a customer relationship manager.
Wow.
So after finishing my degree, I wasn't sure what my path was. So I thought maybe I'll gain some experience working outside, and then so I was working there in Pune, and then I got the opportunity to meet Dr. Peter Vermeulen, a coffee specialist from South Africa.
Okay.
He came to Nagaland because he heard that Nagaland was growing coffee, and being a coffee enthusiast, he wanted to try it. And he came and he tried, and he said, "Wow, this coffee can be one of the best in the world." And that's how he got in touch with me through my dad, and he said, "Hello, Vivito." He just texted me and saying, "Would you like to be interested in starting a coffee business, coffee journey?" So I was like a little hesitant because coffee was out of the blue moon. I was never much into coffee drinking. Coffee was just like a milk coffee for me. That much. That's all I knew, and I was like not in a not so much excited. Well, I would say because my path was not. It was not focusing on that, into the coffee thing. But when he mentioned that I would like to start off by exporting coffee. Now that struck me. Why? Because I studied international marketing, and one of my topics was export and import. So I would say I blindly said yes, let's do it, because that export and import really attracted me. Not because of the coffee, but I'm so thankful that I got into it, because he was like a mentor to me. So from there, I got the roots to go deeper into the coffee. So the more I got to know coffee, the more I got interested. I wanted to learn more. So I had an opportunity to study, to have 1 month specialty coffee course from Himalayan Java, Kathmandu, Nepal, and then that was an eye opener for me. And then I came back, and
that's 2016.
No, that was
17?
2018. 2018. So, so the introduction was like I met him, but I wasn't still sure. I wasn't still sure, and then by 2017 we started with the green beans. So initially the Nagaland Coffee started with green beans exporting. So that's how. But then I was like blindly starting it without knowing much of it, I'm just following what he's doing. But then by 2018, I got even deeper through that specialty coffee course from Kathmandu. And then I felt that, coffee knowledge is a never-ending process. And Peter once told me that, he being into coffee industry for almost 20 years, he said, I still need to learn more. It's not enough. And I was amazed. So when I came back from Kathmandu and, I did that specialty, I was like, muitet janias, I know everything type stuff. But when I heard him saying, like, I need to learn more, being into coffee industry for almost 20 years, I need to learn more. I was like, where am I? That's really struck me. And then I tried to even go further. That's how I got the opportunity again to did my roasting certification from Bangalore, Probat. So Probat is it's a company from Germany. So they have a branch in Kohima. Bangalore. Sorry. Yeah. So then I also had the opportunity to do a short course on manual brew from Delhi. And that's. So that's basically
Very interesting. I mean, you might not know, but then I also got the privilege to meet Peter. I came to your house, and then he gave me. I mean, he was teaching me, and I got the privilege to Achi Hekato and all that.
Yes.
Anyway, let's now you as a certified barista and roaster. Now talking about Nagaland Coffee, what are the key factors that contribute to the unique taste and flavors of the coffee? I mean, that's grown out here. What do you think?
See, everyone will have a different perspective. So my perspective is through my experience and through me tasting different coffees from around India and also around the world, especially in India. See, the main hub, I would say, of coffee producing place in India is Chikmagalur in Karnataka. So most of the big brands in India, they take from Chikmagalur. If you notice their coffee, you will see it's mostly in Karnataka. So yes, roasting can be different. They can use different techniques, but since it's grown from the same soil, planted by the same farmer, processed by the same persons, there is similarity in the taste. If you just keep 2-3 brands from other parts of India and taste it, there's similarity. There will be some distinct notes, but there's some slight similarity. Whereas in Nagaland, the whole environment is different. From plantation, from the climate, and from the soil is different. So that unique flavor comes into being, because especially in Nagaland, we grow a lot of spices here in Nagaland. So I would say the most unique taste that I got, and what my colleagues in the coffee industry got, is that spicy notes. in the
Wow.
cup. Yeah,
So you get a spicy coffee.
Yeah. So it's not like you're
Taste it.
adding spices, but the naturally grown
The flavors.
flavor coming out.
Acha.
So that's what makes it unique from
Acha.
other parts of India, I would say. Yes.
Wow. That's like very interesting. Now let me just off track a little bit and talk about you right now. As far as I know, I heard that you also studied medicine, right?
Yes.
And then I want to talk two things here. One is like you've been from a family where your dad was bureaucrat and Kurina ishe. Other bacha kan azule to baba government job te damar sab azule tan me government job te bisaro lage nolwe beg their appointment be ni ki olwe just kurina. Why now hearing your story you were studying, you were working in Amazon, you were why did you never try for government job then? Like first question, yeah.
That I would say, I mean, it was like maybe my parents really
Was
want
there any
to,
pressure from the parents to do government jobs?
No
Okay.
pressure, no pressure from a government job. My parents never wanted any of us siblings to pursue government job.
Really?
I just
That's
said,
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
I guess
interesting.
maybe they wanted, to let us really work hard. I mean,
Okay, interesting.
Sweat our, earn what you sow. Well, I mean, reap what you sow.
Oh, wow.
That's
Very,
the
very-
motto.
that's very interesting,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
the motto I feel. And yes, I feel that was the main reason that my parents really wanted us to pursue that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's very interesting. Like unlike other parents, so kudos to your parents. Yeah. Now coming back to the second question, what I heard was you also got enrolled for MBBS, right?
Yes.
And then suddenly, kininga huina inya ala
Right,
kuji, like
right.
can you
Yeah,
share about
sure,
those
sure.
stories also?
Yeah. See, so that gap, there was a gap there. So after my class 12, so I got the opportunity to study in Bangalore in a medical school.
Okay.
So see, when I growing up, I was like, I wanted to be a doctor. So that was the main focus in me. It was not like it was not business. Coffee was not even in the picture, And I got the opportunity to study this medical studies, and I was. It didn't really work out for me. I really struggled a lot, and I would say that that was one of my darkest periods in my life. I just couldn't continue with that, and I completely cut off from my family, from my friends. I couldn't even, face my church members and all the people who knows me, thinking that what would they think now? Everybody knows I've been a medical student, and so I really there was a big gap me during that time, but and I even stopped. Honestly, I even stopped going to church and going to praying, questioning God. Why me? Why is it happening to me like this? And then I believe that's where God's grace comes in, because when He closes the door, He opens a better one for us. So
Amen.
I feel that was where God was leading me to. And then one day my dad, he called me maybe that was after a week. After a week of non-communication, and I got the guts to finally talk to him, and because I was so depressed, just like my friends and all, they're going ahead, I'm stuck here. I can't move ahead. And my dad called me and said, he used to call me Avi, and so he said, Avi, don't worry, we are there for you. This is not the end. God has a purpose for you, so don't worry. And so you let me know if there's any other thing besides medical, what you're interested in. So I was looking in the newspaper and all. I mean, I was just observing. So I thought, why not? Since my family was into small businesses, it's being the eldest, let me just pursue this business line and then help my family also. At least me being the eldest, I can oversee the family business and all. That's how I started pursuing this business administration from Mysore. And then thankfully I got the opportunity to go further to UK for my professional degree. So I had some few exams and all. So by God's grace, I got.
Okay, that's a very interesting testimony. I mean, we also want to tell other people who are going through failures right now. Sometimes God closes doors so that He can open better ones for us. So don't give up. Thank you for sharing that. Now let's get back to coffee. Recently, your tribal blend roasted coffee has also won the silver award at the Aurora International Taste Challenge, and people need to know that Nagaland Coffee are winning award outside, and unfortunately, we don't appreciate our own products most of the time. We always want Kali, tomorrow if I bring Nagaland Coffee and Starbucks, everybody will be, oh, with the Starbucks cowboy, we don't know how to appreciate our own products. So would you like to talk about that a little bit? That the winning the silver award at Aurora. What is Aurora International Taste Challenge, by the way?
Aurora International Taste Challenge is an annual competition held in South Africa. So roasters and coffee growers from all over the world, they come and compete for that prize. So in that year, I think there were about more than 800 roasters from all over the world.
And we got silver.
Yeah. So. Yeah, thankfully by God's grace. So the tribal blend is basically the coffee that we pick. So blending is what we do when we take coffees from different districts and then put it together, grind it, and brew coffee. So there's a recipe there. So it's like, let's say Mon 15%, Waka 10%, Mukukchun 12%. So you add till it's 100%. But that's the secret ingredient. Ooh. So you don't know how many percentage you're adding. So that has been our secret ingredient, and we tasted and we felt that it tastes amazing. So why not? Let's try that. And thankfully we just won the.
And then single estate from Kohima won the gold at the Aurora, right?
Yes. So that one is I think that one was that one's this year, I think.
This year, right?
Yeah, this year, yes. So thankfully we tried another one, but that one was we won it for green coffee. So that's a very unique process. What we did was we fermented the coffee twice. First in Kohima in a poly house, and then in Dimapur we sun dried it together. So that two different temperatures drying for a couple of weeks created a unique taste. That sweetness, flavor, that floral. It was a blend with sweetness and floral. So we tried. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this again. And thankfully,
you won the gold.
We won the gold this time.
Wow! Congratulations!
Yes. Wow. The silver we won it for the roasted coffee, the tribal blend. The gold we won it for the green beans, the processing technique that we used.
Forget about international brand. Forget about other coffee, man. You should try Nagaland Coffee, man.
Thank you.
Now the last. We've come to the end. I want you to. Before that, I also want to acknowledge that they won Best Coffee House by Restaurant Guru. They've been voted as the best coffee house. Wow! Congratulations for that.
Yeah,
now, what advice would you give to aspiring, entrepreneurs who wants to enter the coffee business? Is there any message you want to give to these people here?
Yes. Coffee entering business is not tough. Coffee culture has grown a lot since 2016, and I believe that the key to successful, running a coffee shop or a coffee business is consistency. Consistency is the key. You have to maintain consistency, or else, no matter how expensive machines you use, how professional you may employ, if you don't have that consistency, there is no point. Your business will slowly go down. That's the first thing. The second thing is put God first.
Amen.
Yeah, and there's a verse that I've been keeping in my mind through my entire career and through this business, and it has helped. I'm sure you all know Philippians 4:13.
Yes.
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So that's an amazing verse, a very simple verse, but a very powerful one. So always held to that, and that has been a backbone to me, and I'm sure it will do that to you, all of you. Also, do not be lazy. You can be such a talented person, so much of innovative ideas, but laziness will not take you anywhere.
Sure.
And hard work, it all depends on hard work. You work hard, even if the worst situation comes to you, even if the worst hurdle comes to you, you can face it through hard work. And last but not the least, to be the best, you have to give your best.
Cheers to that, man. Thank you so much, Vivito, for taking out the time. And we just want to acknowledge, people that we are shooting this episode in Kohima and the new coffee house, Nagaland Coffee Cafe out here. What is this colony, by the way?
This is the Old Taxi Stand.
Old Taxi Stand, right? So you can come, Kohima people come and try the coffee here at Old Taxi Stand. And he came all the way from Dimapur today for this interview, Even though we're from Dimapur, we came here and we shot here in Kohima, and he's traveling tomorrow, but then he took up this effort. Thank you so much. And thank you for bringing laurels to you and Peters and all your stuff. And also, we want to give shout out to Land Resource Department, the father of the coffees in Nagaland. Right. Thanks to all the officers, all the, those who've been there, I think since 80s, the coffee started, So thanks to the department also. And we're not done. We have more guests. So stay tuned and God bless. Bye.
Thank you.
Hey guys, welcome back once again to another segment. I hope you guys enjoyed it with our conversation with Vivito. And right now we have the coffee guru from Nagaland, Lichan Humsoy. For those who don't know, the founder of Ete Coffee, and for me, he is like a coffee scientist. And without further ado, I would like to welcome Lichan. Hi, welcome, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thanks for taking our time, and thanks for giving us this space. This is Ete School, Ete Lab, and we are so privileged to be here today. We'll talk about that. Now, let's go straight. I want to request you to kindly introduce yourself, anything that you want to tell my viewers about you, please, in your own way. Can you please introduce yourself, yeah?
Right. So first of all, lovely to be with you.
Pleasure.
You came all the way. You brought your studio here, so thank you. And my name is Lichan. I'm married and I have 2 kids already.
Wow.
And third on the way. Yes, I'm married to a lovely lady.
Okay.
A lovely wife. Yeah, who is a big time supporter of my vision, whatever I do. So that's about me.
Wow, thank you so much. Now let's go straight. For me, you are the pioneer in terms of coffee branding, coffee business in Nagaland. Yes, no doubt we give credit to Nagaland Plantation Corporation. I think Agri-Allied, they started this plantation movement. Yeah, 1980-81, right?
Yes.
And then you being the pioneer of this coffee business, Ete, right? So can you please tell us something about the genesis? How did it all start? Where did you get the idea? And then were you interested in coffee from before, or how did it all begin? Yeah.
All right. I mean, the last question, we'll go backwards.
Chalo.
I was not really interested in coffee. I did try coffee from different motels outside when I was studying, but I never had a romantic affair with coffee, which actually I am now super in love with coffee.
Okay.
I teach, I research a lot of that. But when I first started, it was not. So my background is patriotism. This is very contradictory to what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
But mostly from a negative space.
Acha.
I grew up in the early 90s, and that was such a crazy time in my life, phase in my life, when you go to school back and forth. It's always a Diwali. It's like gunfires going on, people getting shot in our neighborhood. And I grew up with that kind of resentment and anger. And I always wanted to seek justice for my people. Ever since then, for the last 18 years, I've been fighting for my freedom in my own version, and I wanted to seek justice for my people. So I've been to a lot of things from, I don't know whether we're going to talk about that later, or whether we should or should not also, I don't know. But yeah, I've been to a lot of places in my life. But when I actually first started this, I wanted to seek justice that is very clear. The vision is very clear for our people, but I don't know how. Then when I thought of coffee, this was like the perfect medium, because it allow you to touch different stratas of societies, from farm all the way to global market. Yeah. And I was thinking maybe this will really help us boost the vision that we have, that is to seek justice for our people, but this time not from a negative space, but from out of love. Okay. As the Bible teaches us in the verse, particularly from the book of Romans, to bless our persecutors. Okay. So if we want to bless our persecutors, how? We will do excellent work with whatever we do, and we bless.
That's interesting take. Yes. Now tell me, Kiniga Kurina start Kurusha, and then the name Ete, right? I mean, please tell the audience, the viewers, what is the meaning of Ete?
Right. So the word Ete is a Lota Naga tribal dialect. Okay. It means us or ours. Okay. It implies actually three different words: ours, us, and we. Okay, we. Okay. So primarily because I would love to think, even now, of course, definitely, that Nagas across the borders, we are all one. Okay. All of us together. So that's the message we want to imply even through our brand.
So do you take beans from not only Nagaland, but...
Yes. So if you're Naga, you are living in Naga Hills, would love to. We got a small lot of coffee from Burma, grown by the Nagas. I feel very emotional. Every time we do training in our school, I always pull it out proudly and say, this is a Naga coffee from Burma.
Wow,
it's very emotional thing.
Yeah, goosebumps. Yeah, thanks, man. I mean, this is very interesting, because we just had an interview with Vivito. So Nagaland Coffee is the Nagaland, there. And you, as Ete, you are inclusive of all the Nagas. Coffee is grown, from all the Naga hills. That's very interesting. So now, coming back again, so where did you take training, how did it all begin, the coffee? Since you didn't study, right?
I didn't study coffee.
Yeah. So, kiniga start Kushila?
So, initially, I was just doing self-taught. And self-taught, in today's time means you're watching YouTube or reading contents. And I came across the Specialty Coffee Association. It's a global association that kind of maintain the protocols, standards. Yes. Yeah. So, I found them, and I became member of SCA Europe in 2017. Ever since then, what they do is they send you contents of research paper, new finding in the coffee industry, new trends that's going on. They keep emailing you. So if you actually spend a good amount of time trying to read and understand, it really helps you. So initially, I was just doing it all by myself, and to be honest, the coffee wasn't that great. I mean, when we first started, because I knew nothing. But later on, only I went on getting trained from different people. I got a privilege of getting trained from two world champions. Wow. One in Bristol and one in Latte Art. And after that, I did my, of course, even in Coffee Board of India, they did a comprehensive course. And it went on and on. And I learned from a lot of friends as well, people in the industry, even till today. So it's an ongoing.
So initially, when you start Ete, the coffee, was it for like kiman start cruise? How did you all start? Was it only for your self-consumption initially, and then Nagaland, and then you were, as far as I know, you were sending outside Nagaland also.
Yes, yes.
So kini kurina start cruise, kiman start cruise, and then how did you keep in touch? I mean, how did you reach out to the farmers?
Right.
You know, because all these crops, as far as I know, were from that 80-81 wala beach kan
yes.
because as far as I know, land resource started around 2016.
15 and 16.
15, 16.
Yes.
And then your Ete was
16.
16. So you were using that the Purana first wala beach kan do.
Yes.
So kini ang green do start cruise.
So prior to 16, in the later part of 15 and early part of the 16, I already got a coffee, and which I was just experimenting from home. Just roast it till it turns dark and oily. That's what I thought it is. So I was doing that. But one thing that I learned in my life that took place in 2006. I've been wanting to become a songwriter my whole life. So for about 13 years, I wrote song. And
patriotic songs or love songs?
Love song, of course. Okay. I ended up with reggae. And so in 2006, when I went for formal education, I wish I have met you at that time, of course. I went down for a training, and I figured that I've been fooling myself. I can make it look like I'm a pro, but I had no idea about the foundation. So I would proudly say that I would score single digit out of 100. In theory, and I flung miserably.
Wow.
And that was the day I realized all this while, for the past 13 years, I've been trying to write a song outside the box, and I had no idea what's inside the box. My foundation was like zero. Thanks to people like you all, music have gone way up there, but me, in my own version, I was trying to act like one. So that's the day I realized from henceforth, whatever I do, be it my career, be it just a hobby, whatever I do, I'm going to go down to the foundation of it. And so when this coffee happened to me, I was just trying to research. My education is microbiology, so it just intrigues me to understand how different fermentation, microbial activities can influence the coffee.
Okay.
And so when people come from outside India, it's like a friend of friend who would have someone who is desperate to have a good coffee. They would bring home, we would just roast, and we would do it. So one day, my friend Apem especially, he came and told me, bro, you know so much about this. Why don't you turn into business? And that was a year I just left my day job with the government. So you were with the government? Yes. I just got married, and I pumped all my money in photography, and I have nothing actually. But I was like, wow, I think I should just make it happen because of the vision that I shared earlier. And so that was a time around 3 kilos or so from Tobu village, Mon district.
Mon district, yeah?
Yeah, I have a very good friend called Xiang Li. He helped me get that coffee. And on a small spice roaster. Today I call it NR technology, which means Ngasurpen in Lota means a dry fish roaster. Just to spice it up, I say NR technology.
NR technology.
I was roasting on a spice roaster for about 7 months.
Really?
Yes. So the money I've put was 6,400 rupees, nothing less, nothing much.
6,400.
6,400 rupees.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't have any money, but I was not ready to spend anymore. That's how I started.
Wow. So now, with all the experience right now, what are the factors that contribute to the unique taste and flavors of the coffees out here? Because from my experience and from what I heard, every district coffee taste flavors alag thagi koise. So what is the factors ininga taste aru we get appreciation from outside also, people talking about Nagaland coffee and all. Nagaland coffee, why is it different from, according to you, why is it different? Why is it Ete Coffee different from the coffee that we get outside?
Sure. So on the grander schemes of things, just to touch base, to put things in perspective. The good thing that we're looking for in the market today by consumers, the disruptor of monotony is the new good.
Okay, can you explain that?
If you disrupt the monotony, because we human beings, we're not designed to be in the same place. If you sit for too long, you want to stand. If you want to stand for too long, you want to sit. So you just want to break the monotony.
Achha.
Now coming to coffee, for India actually, they were the first people to bring coffee. We are the first people to bring coffee outside Arab world. Because Arabians, the Arabs, sorry, not Arabians, the Arabs, they made it a holy drink at some point. But when they started to trade, they want to monopolize.
Okay.
You cannot take live beans outside Arab. So there was a Sufi saint from South India, went for a holy pilgrimage and stole 7 beans tied under his waist, and brought to India, planted coffee for the first time.
Whew.
And so the history is like 16th century. That means we're like 4 centuries down the line. We've been doing an amazing coffee. But because Nagaland stands, here's the thing. The earth, across, there's one line called Tropic of Cancer. And it was believed by the scientists for a very, very long time that you cannot grow coffee outside this coffee belt. And the coffee belt resides right below this line, small belt, small stretch, all the way from Costa Rica, Guatemala to Uganda, Ethiopia, and then South Indian, and with Bali, Indonesia, Vietnam. This stretch is the only stretch where you can grow coffee. Nagaland stand right outside the belt. So that's the case for me. Now, it is not so much of which one is the best coffee, because if you if you ask anyone, everyone would say our coffee is the best. You go and talk to Ethiopian, the Cuban, the Costa Rican, they would say theirs the best. So now what is interesting is because we are outside the coffee belt, so definitely now the whole world is now curious to know what it tastes like outside the coffee belt. That will be the first thing. Yes, and the second thing is you can talk about quality, but the quality is a little complicated. We can look at quality from 3 different aspects. The genetic construct, which means the species, the varietal, you can't change. Second is the terroir. Terroir is the place where you grow. So your vegetation, your microbial activity, your soil chemistry, your climatic condition, all of that. And the third is our human effort. So long as the inputs are technically correct and we maintain the terroir properly, we can definitely produce one among them, if not one of the finest.
This is interesting. I mean, we never, I mean, wow. So now coming back to Ete, for those who don't know Ete, they have like 2 cafes in Kohima. One in the one we're right now is in Billy Graham Road, and the other one is main town, like Kohima local ground, just opposite to post office, India post there. So for those who want to try, you can go. I'm sure most of the people know. But for those people who are not from Kohima, if they want to get your beans or if they want to try your coffee, how do they connect or where do they get?
So currently, we used to sell via our e-commerce from 2016, 17, but we pull it down on 18 because the production from the farm level is too low. So now what we do is we buy over the counter. If not, for people outside Kohima, they can just drop a message on Instagram, our official Instagram page, Ete Coffee, and we can ship it directly to them if you're within Nagaland.
So we'll give the link below in case if you want to try, if you want to order, the links is below so you can get the details later. Now, coming about Ete is not just coffee beans or coffee cafe, but they have a coffee lab, they have a research farm, coffee repository, my god, coffee laga school bhi ase, they have a coffee school, they have like equipment store. Let's talk about that. What are you offering so much? Let's talk about coffee school, right? What is coffee school?
So the coffee school is, should we talk about the vision as well?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so we have a grander vision of the company, but we do have micro vision under that. And the reason why we started this coffee school is because of the simple vision that the people of the land must become the brand in itself. Because when the coffee, the product surpasses or replaces the human, what's the point, right? So the idea is to help all Nagas, or if I say Indian, all Indians, to do excellent coffee. And I'm not saying we are the only one who can provide that. We're also learning. But because at least local context, we are also one of few who can also teach, we thought we should share. Because in business, it is counterintuitive to think that you're going to share your trade secrets to your competitors in the same field, same industry. It's counterintuitive, but the vision is that 100 years later, which we should talk about it later.
Yeah, sure, we will.
So that's why we thought we should just keep sharing the knowledge. One is because if you don't share anyway, somebody will share. If you don't share today, it will become outdated tomorrow. It's a very fast-paced world. You don't share, then you are also not ready to, groom yourself, equip yourself. So we want to push ourselves to doing this. So we run this school. We offer 8 different courses.
Okay, so correct me. One is if somebody wants to be a barista, example,
right?
You can teach them here. Example,
yes.
You can also give training to farmers. Right,
sure.
The one who wants to plant.
Sure.
And what else? Like business,
plantation.
Okay.
Plantation, greens.
Okay.
Yes, and then we have roasting.
Okay, roasting.
Yeah, we have brewing.
Brewing.
We have sensory skills.
Okay, sensory skills.
Sensory skills are people who are testers, like wine testers. We call it cuppers.
Okay.
And then we have baristas. And then we have latte art. And we just added new, which is yet to, called the trade and export.
Okay, so if people want to do this course,
right,
they connect you through...
We have our Instagram page.
Instagram page.
Is school again.
Okay, at the school.
Separate
so cafe is different, school is different. So we'll give you all the links. So, okay, now let's move on outside the coffee for a while right now. Where do you see, since you brought up this topic, Nagaland, 100 years, or where do you want to see Nagaland or India 100 years from now on?
Right. So I can't help but to keep talking about people like Swiss. When you have a European who wants to sell a watch to you, and you ask him, "Where are you from, sir?" and he go, "I am Swiss," then without a second thought, you can just buy it if you have the right resources. And so somebody comes selling to you electronics, and he says, "I'm Japanese." You're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
And somebody's selling watch, he says he's Naga, you're like, "Will I reach home, bro, using your watch, No, this is not to bring negativity, but this is to say that we are yet to spend a good amount of our resources, research, training, education, invest a lot of that before we even hit the market. So people of the land should become the brand first, in the sense we'll have to equip ourselves first. People should become enlightened first, not the market first.
Okay.
For instance, employment and unemployment issues. Instead of worrying so much to how to fill the gap, to say that now we don't have any unemployment, instead of that, let's enlighten the people, equip them. This generation might suffer, but later on, the fruits will follow later. When I say 100 years, it's a figure of speech. It's not like exactly 100 years. So 100 years later, in my given industry, coffee, we need to train, we need to research, we need to share knowledge. Let's not hide, let's keep sharing within ourselves. And we do so well that 100 years later, Nagas, 100 years later, Indians, when they want to expand their business, people should be willing to invest, collaborate, build alliances, because these are Indians, because these are Nagas.
Yeah.
So by virtue of you being born from a Naga family, you inherit $1 billion company. And they'll be so grateful to their forefathers, and we are that forefathers.
Wow.
It's a huge responsibility. Every time I say this, I have my goosebumps going.
Yeah, that's like, I love the vision. Now, forget about 100 years. Now let's talk about right now. Even right now, like most of the coffees that are growing in Nagaland, like the players like Ete, Nagaland Coffee, Heels, Fusion, now Juro is coming in the picture.
And more will be coming.
More will be coming,
Yes.
So now, I was just talking with a friend, why not think outside Nagaland? Why only? Because suppose I go to Bombay, I would love to go to Ete Coffee instead of Starbucks. I want people to know, as you said about the 100 years, I think it's possible even right now, if the coffee lovers, if you go and do proper marketing, when people come and taste it, because we also been, for few people like us who have been going outside, we've tasted coffee across, and then we know that it's good. Our coffee is good. Mami biya promote nakuro. And then, so we want people to taste this. We want people to know how good our product is. So do you have any vision going outside and, opening, or what's your take on that? The brands from here going outside.
All right. So I will keep Ete Coffee in the later part.
Okay.
But when it comes to us Nagas, we're we are far too comfortable with where we are. And I would always bring the Naga political history a little bit here, because oftentimes we end up blaming our Naga generation, saying that we are lazy people, we are too comfortable. We also have to understand what happened in the 60s and 70s when Nagas were really fighting so hard with their, with your whole, giving their lives and all. Somebody came and said, if you give up fighting your freedom, we will give you money, job, comfort. And therefore, it is not always our fault,
Yeah.
So over the time, anyway, we are far too comfortable. So here's what I want to say. If we really want our society to grow, in the coffee industry, for instance,
Achha.
Let's say we have about 2 million population in Nagaland, out of which, I mean, we all know it's not always accurate. Sorry for saying that, but let's say it's accurate, 2 million, out of which about 40% will be old people who can't drink coffee.
Yeah.
A good 60% or 50%, that's too much. 50% will be young people, kids, toddlers, infants who can't drink coffee. We got barely just 5% or so who can drink coffee. That too, some are studying outside, some are working outside, and a lot of vast majority of that population who have the potential to drink coffee, young people from 20s to 30s and 40s, they don't have an accessibility to cafes like Kohima, Dimapur. Yes, thanks to land resources, they have built cafes across the districts, yet the accessibility is still a question.
Yeah.
Which means, even if the entire population of the coffee consumers in Nagaland come and drink from my business, I will very unlikely become a legit millionaire. So if we want to really have a financial breakthrough and start seeing a lot of like Guangzhou, who produce 1 millionaire every week, even now, as we are talking, 1 week, 1 more millionaire, we are yet to see a legit millionaires coming out of our land using our own local products.
Okay.
So, well, that means we need to consider the population as well.
Yeah.
And if we see India, it's 1.4 billion,
4 billion now.
population. And so we should take advantage of that. And therefore, we must go out there and build the business.
Yeah.
And yes, when it comes to Ete Coffee, we have started taking up a project.
Okay.
It's been a couple of months that we've been working on.
Awesome.
Still, fingers crossed.
Wow.
But
Great.
you already mentioned the place, so I wouldn't mention it's
Okay,
there.
so it's Mumbai, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, when it's out, please let me know, man. I'll give a shout out to all my friends from Mumbai to go and test,
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. And I love the vision and I love the way you're taking forward. Out of the topic again, from the coffee, what are the problems that you see today in our society, What is the major problems that you see in our society right now in Nagaland? Yeah.
Right. So I'm in really no way in a position to be addressing this, but the couple of things that I have encountered in my life, especially as an entrepreneur for a solid 7 years, I've come across quite a lot of things. And I was also shocked to know, I was taken aback in many ways, how we treat each other as brothers, among the Nagas especially.
Yeah.
For instance, if I am a Naga brother, and I have another Naga brother there, and I have another outsider there, right across the street, and this guy is earning, and we have no problem with an outsider, by the way. Everyone is welcome. All I'm saying is how we treat each other.
Yeah, yeah.
So this outsider is doing, let's say, 1 crore. And I'm doing 1 lakh. And you are doing 1 lakh 20. I suddenly just have problem with you, not with other guy.
Yeah.
And now, if I want to be better than you, what I can actually logically do is work harder, be smarter, and earn more than you.
Yeah.
But interestingly, the irony is we're not doing that. We are doing all we can to ensure that you earn lesser than me.
Yeah.
So the next month I earn only 50K, but I ensure that you earn only 49K. That makes me feel like I'm richer, So this is very sad. What I call vilification. We always say bad thing about each other, especially in this industry. Be it music, be it business.
Press krelebi, hoilebi.
Yeah.
You know.
That's even worse. In Nagami, it's like Guandishna Nagwa. Yeah, Alobo is good, but what is it, bro? No, it's okay, but you know, you just want to leave it there. I mean, those small little talk, vilifying people, you just have no reason, but you're like, yeah, he's good, but you know, just want to leave it there. And this is really unhealthy, and it's really unreasonable. If you really want to have a sense of professionalism and competitiveness, you can just do well and be ahead of him. So next month I earn 3 lakhs. You also earn 2 lakhs. You just earn extra 1 lakh, but I'm 1 lakh ahead of you. How about that? So I can still be doing so well and ensure you also do well. So this is very concerning for us, Nagas. I think it's time for us, the new generation, to ensure that we uplift each other. We'll have to understand that in order for all of us to do well. Here's the thing, like the piece of pie theory. Back in 2016, we were the only coffee roasters, especially coffee roasters in the entire Northeast, which means when it comes to roasted and ground coffee, we have the 100% market share. But the market size was this small. It's peanuts. The value was too small because there were very less consumers. People are not well informed. The consumers are very less. So our 100% is this size. But today, because we have more roasters and we have more and more cafes, by the way, we have helped build around 14 cafes. You know, who got trained from us. We help them, the consultation services and machines and training and everything. And we are supplying to 25 cafes across Nagaland and Manipur.
Wow.
We are doing that. Now, some, they were on their own, like Dili. Like I always say, he's the first Naga guy to bring the full-fledged modern-day cafe.
Shout out to D Cafe.
Yes. And then Vivito in the first segment. He probably is, you know, in my mind, is the first Naga to be involving in exporting coffee officially. And so everyone has our own thing going on, and there are people we also help grow, and we have built quite a good, you know, sizable professionals and business enterprises around coffee. Now, because of which the consumer base have increased, the market value have grown much bigger. And now today, I might have just about 30 to 40%, but because the piece of pie have gotten too big, my 40% is 200 times more than my 100% today. So the idea is, if we help each other grow, each of us could potentially become millionaires.
True.
But if we suppress each other, all of us will lose out in the game.
I mean, that's very, very true, in not only in coffee, but you know, in every field right now. Itu manu example hota hai, na kekra uthi thakile, tani na girai diya. People take this example, and this is the problem with our society. You know, we don't want to appreciate, we don't want to acknowledge. Kunma manu bal kuri thakile do kininga gorna moi takra bal hole try gro. Moi taki kina, see, competitions is good, but then not at the expense of killing each other, right? I mean, apni kwa nichina, if apni ki jane ahina mugi madad korisi, moi ki jani na, we grow. You do your business, I do my business. You know, I always say this even in the music thing. See, you're a singer, I'm a singer. I don't need to compete with you.
No way.
I am Alobo Naga, you are Lichan. You can never be me, I can never be you. You know, you will have your own people who love your work. There will be people. So why not work together and push each other? You know, I wish this is a very good take from this episode, and then I hope our people, at least the viewers and all these young people, will learn something from here. Yeah, we're coming to the end, but then I just want to bring this topic. I really appreciate someone like you, and there are a lot of people who don't depend on government always, you know, you're trying to do in your own. But unfortunately in our society it's not like that. People wait, they like in every field, in fact, like dependency, you know. So what's your take on that? Everyone is like, oh, government help na kurle, government subsidy na dile. As if like, I can't start business because of government. I can't, you know, I can't live because of government.
Yes. And so we put the blame on them.
Yeah, we put the blame on the government and all. And I think this is also one of the reasons why we're not growing. What's your take on that, you know?
Right. So first of all, the government of today's time is really supportive in many ways. They are very proactive in supporting. There are a lot of cash out there, schemes, programs, a lot of funding programs going on out there. So we're not saying the government is, because what I'm going to say, people might misunderstand it. So I'm just putting a disclaimer saying that it's not out of arrogance but simply because of one simple reason. So here is what happened. When I first chose to start this company, one thing was definitely I want to seek justice for my people, and the only way to do is to seek, excellence and inspire people. But also around the same time, I go meeting people of my contemporary, younger to us, and everybody seemed to be singing the same song. Like, without the government, we can't do anything. I have an idea, but I can't really turn into money. And I would always say, if you cannot make money without money, you can never be able to make money even if you have a lot of money. And my mom always, she was the first person to teach me how to make money without money. That we can talk some other time. But what really burdened me was everybody saying that with the government you can't do anything, and I just went looking around. I did my own share of research, and I found that literally from the smallest to the top, the farmers are waiting for subsidies. Business community are waiting for funding. Contractors are waiting for the government's allocation. So also pretty much the politician. Everyone is waiting for the central to send money. I worked with the government for about half a decade, and so I know how it works. About 80% is what we call central share. A lot of money comes from sender. And I'm like, if I call myself Indian, what a shame. We're not generating any revenue for nation's building. We're only sucking money from Delhi. And so this really confused me. Then I realized, like, there are three things that you can, what I call triangular civilization. I read a book, by the way, 2 years back.
Oh, really?
Never published. I call it Eons of Inertia.
Okay.
And in that book, I wrote the triangular civilization. And this is nothing, it's a no-brainer. But here's what it is. There are three things. One is the people. Then we have the exchequer. That's the treasury, where we keep the money.
Okay.
And then we have the government.
That's it.
So imagine we are from our early man stage, and we just came out of civilization, and we are like, hey, we need some medical services. So can we build a hospital? And there you go, we built it. We collected money, by the way. And then we need policing, so we did. Roads, bridges, all kind of department that you can imagine today, we decided to build it. But where would the money come from? We collected the money, we put in the treasury, and that money is used to. And now who should operate this? Let's call it NPSC, NSSB, recruit some people. And at the end of the day, how much should you put, or should I put? All actually we can think of is people who are in the trade and commerce. In the form of taxes, they put the money, and that accrued money in the state's exchequer is used to fund the government, all kind of missionaries and implementing agencies. And that's how it comes back to the people. So when I meet people after I left my job with the government and I started doing business, people ask me, what do you do? I said, I'm into business. And they're like, oh, okay. It's okay these days. It just works, it's okay. But I'm like, wait. The entire system, the government, all kind of services, be it energy, road, water, you name it, is actually funded by this exchequer. And that money is put by people who are in trade and commerce. And therefore, people in the business, it is not merely okay, but it is a prerequisite, my friend. It's like, it is the basic fundamental, the building block of a society. Then how comes it is okay to be in the business? In fact, it is a prerequisite, I repeat again. And so that's when I was like, wow, I can't do anything. I'm still no one. Even back then, all the more, I was even worse. Nobody knew me. I was doing nothing significant. But one thing that I decided to do is I will not take help from the government. Not out of arrogance, but to prove it to myself, to our Naga brothers, that without the help of the government, we can build not just a surviving business, but even a thriving business.
Wow.
How about that? So 7 years we have finished on the 2nd of July this year. Now 7 years, 1.5 months now. And we've not taken a single help, cash or kind, from the government.
Wow.
We look forward to collaborating with the government, with public-private sectors, collaboration and everything, because we know that if we really want to grow, we need the help of people, the government and all. But at least for the past 7 years, we have managed to prove it to ourselves that without the help of the government, we can.
Respect,
definitely.
man. Yes. Respect. So proud of you, and congratulations for, reaching 7 years. It's a big feat, and this is just the beginning, and we wish you the best. And on the ending note, if there's any message you want to tell the audience,
All right. So I would always want to end, always add a line from either Italian or French, my favorite, when I'm really low, because I have no one who can, support me in many ways. It's just my wife and my brother, oftentimes, and a good friend of mine, a bunch of them. So, and big time God, I would always tell myself this one particular French line. It says, "Faire ce qui est juste," do what is right no matter what.
Wow.
Right, and so then what is right? What is right is actually the gospel in itself. And so, you asked me to end this whole narrative with a message. My message is we need to understand the gospel, how God has created, originally intended creation, and how God intends to restore it one day. For me, if whatever we do is shaped by the gospel, there is no difference between secular and sacred. Everyone is on the same boat towards the restoration of what God has called us to be. That's a greater purpose. And so for me, I know you have clapped your hands, but
no,
last thing is, yes, yeah. Vision and the purpose. The vision should be as clear as crystal.
Yeah.
And the purpose should be grounded. Then it doesn't matter. You can change your profession, your vocation, your passion, your inspiration. All of that could change, but the vision and the passion should stay.
Wow. I hope you guys learned so much today. We are so blessed to have him in our show. And but one thing I noticed from the previous guests, Vivito and this guy, whatever they do, the foundation, they put God first. And this is the reason why they are doing good today. And on that note, we're going to end up here. We'll see you next week. God bless. Bye.